Yeah.
I don't care how good you are in anything. You don't have discipline, you ain't nobody.
Right.
You're nothing without discipline. Because you give up under the slightest struggle without discipline.
100%. And that has to be something that you also learn from Cuss as well.
And he told me discipline is doing what you hate to do, but do it like you love it.
Doing what you hate to do, but do it like you love it. That is a great quote.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can do that, you could be successful in anything.
The quote goes like this: one day or day one. One day or day one. I'll do it one day. Okay, that's up to you. Or day one.
The best advice anyone ever gave me was 2 words. You can't. And you know what my response was? 2 words. Watch me.
Not about the physical. Once you master self-discipline, consistency, and self-control, the physical will follow. It has
Trap
no
bars.
choice but to follow.
Trap bars.
I'm not in a rush to be skinny. I'm in a rush to be disciplined. I'm not in a rush to stop overeating. I'm in a rush to have self-control with what goes into my mouth. I'm not in a rush to be at the gym every day, and I'm in a rush to be consistent. And that'll trickle down into every aspect of my life. So I've really honed in on my fitness journey, and my body is slowly following. But the self-control, the discipline, and the consistency is what I'm trying to master right now.
For discipline, the easiest thing for me is just to have a calendar. Successful people, or at least the ones I know, have a calendar and a routine. We see these people on YouTube and Instagram and just think they just wake up and it's always rainbows and everything is just amazing and they're the greatest entrepreneur and the greatest father. That's what we think. But the difference is the habits and routines. So what do you do when you wake? I wake up and I might be tired. I might have had a rough night. I still get up and I go do the thing that I'm supposed to be doing. There are moments where you have to bring in the discipline because you're tired or there's something else. There's a shiny object over here that you want to go off and do. But if you're always relying on willpower, you're eventually going to fail. Where the calendar is a thing that ends up saving you.
I just wanted to tell you, if you don't discipline when you are school or in college, you pay a heavy price in later part of your life. Discipline, like coming up in a proper way, writing properly, okay, talking properly, communicating properly, respecting people properly. This really helps a long way in your life. So I don't want you should be like potato, regretting in your old age. You should remember that to be successful in life, there is no shortcut. The only method is hard work and straight way. And that you have to do.
You seem to overlook the fact that some infant children were raised in undisciplined environments with undisciplined parents. I hate the fact that I have gross undisciplined behavior.
You don't get discipline from your parents. You don't inherit it. And there's another piece here. It's called ownership, right? It's called ownership. And if you want to blame other people for the problem, and I say this all the time, if you don't take ownership of the problem's not going to get solved. So if you blame your parents for not having raised you in a disciplined environment, you're not going to solve that problem.
People who train every day don't want to train every day. They are not motivated to train every day. They are something else. Motivation is the wrong word. They are not motivated. They are disciplined.
Andrew, how did you learn that discipline was a precondition for freedom?
Look, there's just some people that are just way talented.
Right.
And they could show up, 3 minutes before a run or 3 minutes before we do a shooting competition, and they could just walk through it, no problem.
Right.
That's great for them. It wasn't me. I'm not that great at anything. But I saw other guys that might not be great at anything either, but they worked hard. They showed up to work early. They did the drills that they were supposed to do. They had discipline.
In any field of enterprise, there are people who are phenomenally gifted. And then if they work really hard, they're even more phenomenally gifted, right? Those are the people who break records. But that talent apart, hard work actually works. And with virtually everything. It might not make you the best at whatever it is you're pursuing, but it will certainly make you better than you are.
I always knew that nothing else can distract me from achieving my goal, but the immediate distractions were too many. Traveling to other countries, going out, regularly, having drinks with friends and just not being that focused. But the one thing that remained constant was every time I was down, every time I hit rock bottom, somehow I was able to put everything aside and say, right, I'm going to work hard and I'm going to get back up.
once disciplined, lost their way, how do I get back on the discipline train?
Discipline is not just rigidity. Like we talked about being on time. I am always 5 minutes early, or like I never do this. That rigidity is also a form of fragility. You have to be resilient, and part of resilience is flexibility, being able to say, I can work with this.
For me, when I think about discipline, it's that my mental status when I talk to myself is always apologetic and understanding of things out of my control. My core discipline is, I wanted this to be the case. It snowed. Mother Nature said, go fuck yourself. I said, thank you, Mother Nature. And when we got in at 3 a.m., I'm not gonna wake up at 6 a.m. and work out because I'm tired, and it's okay, and I'll pick it back up tomorrow. And that's that.
And that actually requires more discipline.
I think so.
Right? And so it takes discipline to be flexible and say, I'm gonna adjust. I don't control what happens, but we control how we adjust to what happens, how we respond to what happens. That's actually the essence of Stoic philosophy right there.
Do you want discipline? I give you some rules. Number 1, start your day with small ritual, like 10 push-ups. Then the day will start you. Number 2, plan small steps, not big steps. If you have too big goals and cannot achieve, you have nothing, and you kill your discipline. Number 3, be humble. You are not special. You are not king of birth. You are not privileged. Humbleness, discipline, and willpower are different sides of one coin. Number 4, make every day a promise to your ancestors to serve them. They will give you direction. They will give you discipline. They will give you willpower. Be honorable.
You ain't no boy no more. This ain't no base. This ain't no, I want to go party. Now it's time to create a legacy now. You had your fun. Now get to work.
Don't make excuses. Don't blame any other person or any other thing.
You can't cheat yourself, man. Stop expecting results that you know you didn't work for.
The struggle is real. It never gets any easier. You gotta get harder. Stay hard.
Be a dangerous man. You can't be a good man, a fully good man, if you're not a dangerous man. It's okay, be dangerous. Now, being dangerous is not being a threat. They're two different things. To be good is to do good to people, and sometimes doing good to people is protecting those people. Often the most dangerous man in the room is the quietest man in the room, all right? And it's not about going out and lifting weights and getting a bunch of tattoos and wearing leather jackets and walking around with your chest and shoulders up, hulking around saying, I'm dangerous. That's very rarely is that a dangerous man. Become a good man.
My grandfather walked 10 miles to work every day. My father walked 5. I'm driving a Cadillac. My son is in a Mercedes. Said my grandson will be in a Ferrari. But he said my great-grandson will be walking again. So I asked him, I said, well, why is that? And he said to me, tough times create strong men. Strong men create easy times. Easy times create weak men. Weak men create tough times. He said to me, many will not understand, but you have to raise warriors.
Everybody's a fighter in their own right. You're a fighter, I'm a fighter. Everyone that's in this room, even the newspapermen, they're fighters. But everybody don't get up every morning and run. Everybody don't go to the gym every morning. And everybody don't have enough discipline to wait in the locker room for 2 hours or 3 hours, then go in the ring and do what they've been taught all those years in the gym. And so that's what separates a champion from a mediocre fighter.
What about talent?
Talent? I don't believe in talent. Well, some people, they have talent. It's good. It helps when you have talent. As long as you have a lot of determination and willpower, that's all you need. And you have to have the will to win.
So if you're not ready to get disciplined, it's never going to work as long as you're developing the discipline for someone else. And some of y'all may have even grown up in situations where your parents were very controlling, right? And they tried to instill discipline. But if someone is forcing you to study or forcing you to work or forcing you to do anything, that's not actually discipline. It's actually the exact opposite, because these are external forces that are controlling your behavior. The point of discipline is that it's an internal force that overcomes your barriers. And so this can be really confusing for a lot of people, because even if they've been pressured and they've been successful, they can sometimes have no discipline at all. And anytime they're left to kind of self-start, they struggle with it.
I always push myself to do better, do more. Discipline can also be curbing that very impulse, right? Like, ordinary people, when we're talking about discipline, what we're talking about is getting off your butt, working out, resisting eating candy and eating nutritious food instead. It's, managing your screen time. But I think for a lot of more disciplined people, or for people who have tasted the rewards of discipline, you have to learn how to be disciplined about discipline, which is maybe the highest level of the whole thing.
Now here's the key to discipline. Start with the little disciplines, get excited over the little disciplines, and get right on those, because those will lead to the big ones. You can't handle the big challenges in life unless you take on the little ones. Make a list of all the things you can do, get right on those, discipline yourself for those, both for the results and for the muscle and for the practice, so that when life hands you some big challenges, you'll be ready, you'll have the muscle.
The rule number one is to get vitamin N. That's the rule number one. You need to inject yourself with vitamin N.
N is for?
N is to learn to say no. That's a vitamin. Yeah. That's how to get self-discipline. Secondly is setting your priorities right. Thirdly is avoid complaining. Those are the three factors which can lead you to self-discipline.
The discipline of Cristiano. The discipline is unbelievable. I never see this. The discipline is in another level. I see professional football players, professional like Zlatan. Like a lot of players, they're very professional. They come early, they do all the recoveries and stuff like that. But someone that's been there every single day and don't stop, that's Cristiano. That's Cristiano. Cristiano is every day. Some days you can I'm okay. He doesn't miss one day. He's disciplined. No, it's like he's a professional. We're all professional. But the discipline to do it every single day, non-stop.
To any young men out there, I'm 28 years old now. I started working out at 21 years old. But I was never, ever consistent. Ever consistent. Hell, still, I'm even not consistent right now. But I want to be. But I'm urging you, any of you young guys, it's not about building the biggest body. Only. That's part of it. The most fit body, but it's really about the mindset, the discipline. I'm a firm believer that being that physical pain, working out gives you physical pain. And if you're able to go through that physical pain and fight through it, I feel like it's 10 times greater in the mind when you're going through something mental, whether it's heartbreak or building a business or raising a family or studying for a test, whatever it may be when it comes down to mental capacity. The ableness to go through something physical and come out being consistent at it, overcoming obstacles physically, will only do the same for you mentally, because the physical, coming through any type of physical pain is simultaneously going through mental, because your body tells your mind, I'm in pain, I'm hurting. But your mind has to tell your body, I know, that's why we're doing it. So you become stronger. Your muscles break down and rebuild stronger. It's the same with your mind. Your mind breaks down, removing all negative thoughts and replacing them with positive thinking. It's only gonna help you in the long run. So stay consistent in working out. I hope this video means or helps you at least start your journey. And if you see me in these videos, I'm working on a routine. I'm not perfect with it, but follow along. I want to be consistent to help you be consistent so that we can grow together as strong individual men.